And now I'm moving forward, and Michael Cerise, who is Sales and Operations Leader at EMEA ZF Group Commercial Vehicle Solutions. He'll talk about what is transport orchestration and will share a glimpse into the future. So his company is creating the most forward and technology solutions. So please welcome him with a warm round of applause.
Labas everyone. Bonjour, good morning, bonjour. I'm a French guy. Then I know how important is the lunch time. Then I'm going to try to be fast, quick. But let's go to talk about orchestrations, transport orchestrations. Here, we're not going to talk about music. We are going to talk about data. I'm working in the FMS, Fleet Management System, for more than 15 years. And the world is changing. It's changing for you guys, but it's also changing for us as suppliers for the Fleet Management System. And we are going to go more and more on the orchestration. Then today, I'm just going to go through what is the digitizations today in Lithuania, but also all over Europe. The future of the transport, and then we will compare what is the normal fleet management system with the orchestrations. Let's talk a little bit about the transportation of today. I want to say that when I take the positions to be responsible for EMEA 2 years ago, a little bit more than 2 years ago, and the first visit I had in Lithuania, I had some assumptions saying, okay, I'm coming from France. The Lithuanians are really quite often on the road in France, and with a lot of question mark, how are they making the business? Is it because of the drivers, the way they are managing some contract? But I was really surprised. The first meeting I had in a big HQ, a big transport company in Lithuanian, and I see only young guys with a lot of screen and just working with data. And this was the HQ of a big transport company in Lithuania. And I was looking at that and I said, wow, they are just working with IT data to make optimizations on the transport. And this is a clear future. This is a clear future to make sure that in the transport company, you are going to save some cost. I don't know how many IT people we are in the room, but I was so surprised, and I can say clearly that you are, Lithuanian, the most advanced country in IT for the transportations. This is clear, and all the other transport companies I've visited in Lithuania, they were already so advanced compared to the western part of Europe. Then I can give you a big applause. I can understand this morning when I heard about the ministry and the president talking about digitizations, was 50% of the speech talking about digitizations. And I can understand now why you are so advanced. But anyway, we are all facing some challenge, and you are facing some challenge. We are under transport, more than 1/3 of kilometers on the road today are made by trucks and vans. And on the same road, we have also every year more than 60 billions of transport for passengers. We are all using the same infrastructures with more and more demand of transportations. Then the challenge of today, we are talking a lot about energy management. Of course, in 2050, we need to go for CO2 emissions neutral. But for you, on transport company, how you are going to manage that? The cost. No one was talking about who is going to invest on the EV trucks. We know the price to make it profitable is a big question. How are we going to pay a trucks 3-4 times more expensive than the normal one, and then to get the money for it? The shippers is going to pay for it? We know already the answers. Then you have a big questions, and how we are going to manage on the same roads the charging stations, the driving time, and the resting time of our drivers to make sure that you are going to stay profitable. Because this is the questions. If the transport company want to stay alive, you need to be profitable. We also have a big problem with the shortage of drivers. We know it's more and more difficult to find drivers. It's costing us a lot to replace a driver. We are looking for some different regions in Europe and maybe outside Europe now to find drivers. But we need to make sure that we can keep them and then we keep it alive, because the autonomous driving and autonomous trucks is not there yet, and we are going to face a lot of regulations on that, and it's not going to be for tomorrow, maybe after tomorrow. But anyway, we can still see that we have a lot of empty miles, kilometers, and with our digitizations, why today we are still have trailers who are 50% empty or fully empty and doing this trip? This we need to make sure that in the future, then the percentage of the empty miles go lower and lower. When I go to a transport company, a lot of time I'm asking, do you know what is the percentage of your empty miles? Oh no, maybe 20%, 15%, 12%. Wow, okay, this is good. But a lot of company doesn't know, did not think, oh, where I am this month, yeah, I am at 20% or 15% of empty miles. Big impact for the environment, but also shortage of drivers. Then first, make sure that our trailers are free loads. And the constraints with regulations. I think transport have the new regulations every year, every 2 years. Environment, we have the tool in Germany now, big questions, how we are going to manage that. And we top these layers on top of top. And yes, the digitizations need to help to solve these problems, but it's complex. It's complex because we are in the complex world. Here you can see on the IT, yeah, we are all players, a lot of players. Today in the trucks and trailers, how many SIM cards do you have? You have one for the telematic, I'm part of it, one for the telematics on the trailers, one for the TPMS, new regulations again. Then from this old SIM card, you have different platforms. The one for the reefer, the one for the tires, the one for the telematics, and then the one for the TMS. It's really complex. It's really, really complex. And at the end, we have the end user, us, who want to make sure that we have the clear visibility of the goods we want, because we order the day before on the big platform, and we want to make sure that we have the next day. Not any questions about environment. No, we want just it for the next day. And we have the shippers. The shippers today, they want to have visibility. They want to make sure that the goods arrive on time, but they are also taking more and more power from the transport company today. And we have to work all together to optimize our process. To make new roads is going to solve the problems? No, absolutely not. No, because the infrastructure is there, we know, with all the complexity I was explaining, it's not going to change anything. If I look at today, on the digitization, like I said in engineering, we are really advanced. But yesterday we were just looking at the data. Most of the time we were like the fleet management system, where they say, okay, you are just track and trace solution. No, we are much more than that. But okay, we are using the FMS to do the track and trace, to do the taco download. And then, if we had the problems, we were trying to fix it directly or after it. Today, we see that we are more and more BI. We put some business intelligence to fix the data, to analyze the data, and then to optimize our process internally. Tomorrow, we are going to go for more and more the predictive. This is already existing. We have the predictive maintenance. Some OEMs from the truck side already put this in place. But the predictive is going to take time. We need to work with the machine learning. I will explain it after it. But to make sure that we optimize the process, then it's going to be a little bit time. But this is where we are working today and tomorrow. And then after tomorrow, we need to put the artificial intelligence and the robotization on our process to make sure that the decisions is made on the good way, not by human, but by the IT. Let's look at the future of the road transport. We were talking a lot this morning. I heard a lot about 2050, big goal for the carbon neutral. lot of EV trucks is going to be part of our environment, some drone for the deliveries. Yeah, maybe it's the future. Huh? But we need to make sure that the capacity, I show it 91% here, but we have to track the capacity of the load, the parcel deliveries, and then to have the full visibility of all the parameters. To do that, yeah, we need more forecasting, to forecast. This is the key. We are already doing that, but also for the live decision making, taking the decisions directly to make sure that we are not going to have a problem in the future. And these decisions need to be automate because we know our people, and it's more and more difficult to find dispatchers, managers who know how to take the good decisions live. We can do it with the IT, with the intelligence. And then we need to make sure that we are going to learn the patterns, to learn the exceptions, to make sure that our intelligence artificial is going to answer all the exceptions in the futures. I was already talking about the orchestrations a bit. But fleet management, yes, is answering today of what do we transport, where we are going to transport, when, and how. And we are doing that in different silos. Us, fleet management system, we can answer on the dispatching part, where we have the road optimizations, a little bit between us and the road optimizations, the what with the planning, and how to improve with the BI. But this is a passive flow. It's really passive. Everyone is talking to each other, but not really learning and reacting. Then the impact of that, we are making a lot of manual executions. A lot of time when I go and visit customers, transport company, on the Friday, most of the time it's a Friday, I see people scanning documents. I say, why are you doing that? We are now in 2023, 2024. Why are you scanning documents? Yeah, but the driver is coming with all the papers and I need to scan and I need to archive. Yeah, we have digitization. No, the driver can scan his document. We can use ECMR, we can scan the document. And please don't do this manual task anymore. This should be fully automatizations. That's it. We see that we are still in the passive mode. What if tomorrow we put some intelligence there? Then everything will be orchestrated. Everything will be directly with decisions on automatically. We will know exactly what kind of asset, and I say asset because maybe we will talk about autonomous trucks in the future, what kind of asset, where we are going to send, when, and this automatically and live. This is the key of the orchestrations and the digital solutions of today. We will optimize diverse vehicles, could be drone, could be passenger cars, cargo, people, to a dynamic and automate way end-to-end. How we are going to do that? Planning, routing is data. Data source is the key. Data source is the key for the machine learning. Data source is the key for the AI. Data source needs to be accurate, and then to make sure that we are pointing the good part of the data. Then planning and routing, dispatch and control, communicate together, learning together, how we can improve, sending data to the drivers. We said the drivers is still there, then we need to communicate in case of problems to the drivers because they need to take decisions or to move, and then to push some algorithm and AI around it. On the AI, and I'm not going to go too deep on the way we are using AI, but maybe some of you know it. We are going to start with the generative AI, the ChatGPT. This is the first stage of AI. And then after, we are going to reinforce the AI. We are going to reinforce with data, with patterns, with informations. And then we are going to do some unsupervised AI. When we are going to have problems, we are going to push data. And then the last part of AI is going to be the supervised AI, when the machine is going to do some self-learning about all the exceptions. Is where we want to go from a really passive data integrations to active integrations, automatizations, and self-learning process. This is the orchestrations. This is the platform of orchestrations. What is the purpose of that? Today, we know one dispatcher is managing 20, 30 trucks. Tomorrow, maybe we could manage 50 trucks. In 5 years, maybe 100, 1,000 trucks, and maybe we will not need any dispatcher. I hope we don't have dispatcher in the room today, but this is our way of thinking for the orchestrations. This is the future. We already have some part of it. This is our new platform, is Scalar. You can visit our booth. We have the full view of Scalar and what the AI will bring for you, for your optimization, for your profitability, because if we want to keep transport company alive, we need to make sure that you are profitable. Thank you, and wish you a good lunch, and thank you for listening to me.